So let's get into this review. So I picked up the new Makeup Forever concealer. So this is their new HD Skin Smooth and Blur Undetectable Under Eye Concealer. Now, let's get into some of these facts. So it has a natural finish, it has hyaluronic acid, which is a beautiful thing. It is plumping, which is another beautiful thing. Hydrating, good for dark circles and long wearing. So about this product, it is a feather light, buildable concealer that visibly smooths, brightens, and corrects under eyes with an undetectable real skin finish in up to 24 hours of wear. So the coverage is medium, finish is natural, and it is a liquid concealer. So it has smooth skin complex, which is composed of jojoba oil to help hydrate the skin, hyaluronic acid, and snow mushroom that contributes to visible plumping and smoothing, soft focus powders to blur, and coated pigments to color correct. So I definitely said a mouthful. The main things that I am looking for are smoothing and blurring properties, because I do my concealer more old school, so I really focus it underneath the under eye and a little bit of my cheeks. But let's get into this color range. I'll insert that clip after this. I'm not gonna lie, I was very disappointed with the color range. I felt like there were way too many beige shades and they only gave us like a couple deeper shades, and honestly I had to select one. I didn't even really know what to pick because it was just really difficult. So I think the color range definitely needs more work. So I picked up the shade 4.0 yellow. So there was like yellow, there was red. I was not here for the color range. So this is what this concealer looks like. Let me swatch this. This is what the concealer looks like. So I definitely see the correcting piece of it, but we really have to see what it's going to look like when I set the powder on it. So this is what 4.0 yellow looks like. Very yellow, very golden, but you know what? We are still going to make it work. So I already applied my foundation, everything else off camera. So let's get started with this concealer. Y'all know I'm not really a fan of the foundation, so I'm hoping that this concealer is bomb. So I'm going in the usual way that I apply my concealer. I'm not using any color corrector because they say it's good for dark circles, so it already has color correcting properties in it with the pigmentation. So I do not want to interfere with that. So what I'm going to do, because you all know how I do my concealer, I'm going to blend out one side and then allow one side to dry down just so we can see if there's a difference. For those that like to go in immediately, I am just going to go in and start blending out this side. Honestly, the coverage is looking beautiful. I was not sure about this color, but it's looking really good. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could have gone a little bit brighter, but the shade before this was too bright, and I just don't feel like for the price point that I really wanted to purchase another one when I could just use a brighter powder. This is what this side looks like blended out immediately with my beauty blender, and then I'm still allowing this to dry down. So I'm gonna give it maybe 2 minutes and then see if you see a difference on either side, and then we can go from there. Alrighty, so I let this dry down for about 7 minutes, so let's dive in. I just added a pinch more underneath my under eye because I felt I didn't put enough. So here we are. Honestly, I see a clear difference. This one is definitely giving a little bit more coverage from allowing it to dry down. So as you can see, this is the side that I blended out right away, and then this was the side that I waited about 6 or 7 minutes for. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more on this side and then blend that right out and start setting. So this is categorized as the shade Almond, and it is for deep skin tones with neutral to golden undertones. So I picked the right one since I do have neutral and golden undertones depending on like what foundation I'm using. It does look hydrated. I see a little creasing. It's in my fine lines under my under eye. So now let's cream contour. Just gonna go back in for that final blend out while that was drying down, while I am blending out my cream contour. And let's set. I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass powder and see how this looks. So this is what this powder looks like. This one is translucent medium, so it's gonna give a little bit of brightness. If you have not seen my review on this, please do so. So I'm just gonna go in with my sponge, pick up a little bit of that powder, press it into the back of my hand, and lightly press this in. Now, as I said, I was just going to use my powder for brightness, so here it is. So I'm actually liking this side way better. This is the side that I allowed to dry down a little bit more than this side. I feel like I was able to get a little bit more coverage with allowing it to dry down. Even though it is medium, drying it down and letting it get that tackiness really helps to thicken the under eye concealer. So I'm just gonna finish off the rest of my face, and then I'll be back once everything is completed, and then I'll give you all a wear test. Alrighty, beauties, so we are back. So I finished off the rest of my face. This side is still my favorite side. It is. I feel like blending it out too quickly was not good. It really did need to dry down because I feel like the powder and the concealer are separate. So this eye was the one that we allowed it to dry down for about 7 minutes, and it still looks flawless. This one is the one we blended out right away, and I feel like I'm seeing it settle a little bit in here. I don't feel like it covered as much as I wanted to in this area from blending it right out. So if I squint, you can see it like right in here. So not the biggest fan of this side, but we're still gonna ride it out. So it's been about 30 minutes since I set my face and put this look together. I'm going to give it about 2.5 more hours. It is almost 12:30 right now. So let's give it a little bit more time, and then I'll be back with my final thoughts and let y'all know the other deets. Alright, beauties, so we are back. So it is 5:36. It's been a minute, okay? So as far as the concealer goes, I have not touched up. I only put on my lipstick. That is all. But so you see a little bit of oiliness coming through, but as far as the concealer, let me bring y'all in. So let me squint for you guys. You could see on this eye, it still is settling in the fine lines, and the same goes with this eye. So it's still settling. So blending this one out quickly was not the best thing to do at all. I really recommend allowing it to dry down. But also what I realized is in the sun, this looks really yellow. So I was out and about, and like even my mom was just like, why is your under eye so yellow? And I was just like, I really think that they could have benefited from more of a shade range. As much as this is supposed to help color correct, it's just a little bit too yellow for my liking. I do have some yellow based concealers, more warm, like my Dior concealer is a little bit more golden, but you don't see it that golden once I set it with my powders and everything, and I also layer it with a lighter concealer that's still in the warm family. But this one is just, yeah, a little too yellow. It blends out beautifully. It feels beautiful, like my under eye doesn't feel heavy. The texture feels really good, but as far as the shade range, it's a no for me, dog. They needed to do better. So this concealer does retail for $29, which is around the price point of concealers. I believe my Too Faced, some of my other ones are around this price point or a couple dollars more, which is average. So like I said, I think the direction that they were going in, great. However, the shade range definitely needs some more work because yeah, it was between this and like a red concealer. So I really didn't have much of a choice other than getting this one. So, you know, I don't really feel like me personally it's necessary for me to keep. So she might be going back. So as far as my recommendation goes, I don't really feel like it's necessary. It is not life-changing. It's not a game changer for me. It's not a banger. Beautiful product though. I don't see it plumping either. I think my eyes kind of look the same from earlier today. Under eyes feel fine even with the powder that I use. The powder set it flawlessly, but again, yeah, the concealer is very yellow. It might I think mainly because it's supposed to serve as a color corrector as well, but honestly for color corrector I use something more orange, more salmon colored. So Beauties, not my favorite, but let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know if you feel like it's worth it. Let me know if you're going to be trying it out, but she might be going back to the store. So Beauties, thank you so much for tuning into this review. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'll catch you on my next one. Until next time, thanks for watching.